Good afternoon. Welcome to Hint Plays. I'm Nightbites and I'll be your game master for today. Hint Plays is a channel for role-playing games and tabletop gaming from Hobby Gamers International. We run games on a 3-week rotation, both on Saturdays and Sundays, with rotating casts of players and game masters. We also do occasional specials where we look at new games, play online board games, and occasionally do themed games like this evening's session. We've got a double bill today. Obviously, this is Rolemaster. This evening, from about I think 7 o'clock, we'll be playing Aliens for the second half of Drut's Halloween special. However, today I am playing Rolemaster in a homebrew setting that I call Stormhaven, whereby our players are part of the survivors of a shipwrecked colonialization fleet that is on the wrong side of a mystical storm wall of storms that has shielded an entire continent throughout living history. It's all very, very weird. And our players are trying to find their feet and set up a settlement where they can survive because they've got no way of getting back. So let's meet our players and their characters. Shard, let's start with you.
I'm Shard. I'm playing. What's her last name? Oh, she doesn't have one. I'm playing Ganisa. They are a gray elf, which means they live forever until they choose to die, basically. She is tall, thin, as if malnourished, and a lot stronger than she appears. Totally covered in black and brown leathers, like the only skin showing is her face.
Moliere, how about you?
Hello, I am Lyra, and I am playing Oben, who is a dwarven bard. He is he's well intentioned, but apparently he's something of a trouble magnet, judging from last session, where he tried to make a friend in the forest and was poisoned. Slept through an entire battle. Basically because of that, and then was shot in the butt with a poison dart. So
The same poison, even.
yes, except this one was dried, so it didn't have an effect. But yeah, apparently he is the trouble magnet, and but he's also very skilled in herbalism and bardy things, and basically, means well, but apparently keeps stumbling over his own feet.
Sam, over to you.
Hi, I'm Sam, and I'm going to be playing Lyle Gustafsson, the Halfling Ranger. He might take himself a little bit too seriously, but overall he means well, and he seems to be doing his best to keep the party alive.
And last but by no means least, Izumi.
I play Dreadlunk, a itty bitty gnome that apparently, when trying to find traps, sets them off and poisons my fellow party
Hey,
members.
that is a legitimate way of discovering traps.
It worked, and no damage really, except my pride and dignity. That's fine.
Given that you tried to make out with a frog, I'm not sure how much pride.
I didn't. I patted it on the butt. If that's all, was sitting on my shoulder. Just, then
Patting things on the butt is a romantic gesture in some cultures.
I do have points in seduction. What are you complaining about?
So you admit you were trying to seduce the frog.
Oh, God.
I was flirting with the toad, perhaps, in a friendly, not going anywhere way. Just sort of a, how you doing? You're very toady.
Right.
Yeah. That would be my attempt at flirting in real life. So yeah, that's bad.
So by
Yes,
way of bringing everyone up to speed on where we are precisely now in the story, the characters have been sent on a mission to investigate the lands north of the settlement as it stands, and have trekked 5 days north and slightly west towards the mountains, where they found a trail. They have headed up the trail and encountered ancient dart traps, and what looked like some sort of religious waypoint. And at the end of the session, they came into an area that had been hewn out of the side of the mountain that looked like an entryway to something else. There were broken pillars, broken statues that could potentially have been maybe some sort of gathering place, maybe having awnings to shield people from the harsh weathers that can be found up in mountains. This is where we start. You've just arrived and just seen this double row of pillars and statues up at the far end. What looks like might be possibly either a doorway or something that's been carved into the stone to resemble a door, in the same sort of style that you've seen in the waypoints further down the trail.
Yeah, the dwarf and the gnome weren't the only ones that did something silly. I mean, Janissa did offer an offering that might give them something. Probably bad luck.
Maybe.
I mean, you did fall off the side of a cliff. So...
Maybe that was the other cost.
I wasn't
we'll
going to
have good
mention that.
What?
I wasn't going to mention the falling off the side of the cliff.
Hey, that was an
That's what I'm
epic.
here for.
That was an epic critical fail, though.
It was. It was. One of the wonders of the Rolemaster system, in that no matter how good or badly you're skilled, a critical can make or break a situation. And in this case, a particularly bad roll had poor Ganisa falling off the side of a cliff. And I think it was dislocated shoulder, was it you got?
Yep. As soon as they got me up, I went to a wall and had them just put it back in place, all stoic like, and they're like, "What?"
Okay.
I'm a healer, technically a necromancer, but I'm a healer. I know how it works.
So you've got this area before you. You can see the pillars. They probably stood a lot taller than they are, but they're broken, eroded. Probably once were quite ornate. And then down by the what looks like it might be a door, or carved to represent a door, you've got two sets of three statues each side. Look like they probably represent human or humanoid figures, but again, they're corroded, they're broken. There's not a whole lot left. Each one stands on a plinth.
I'm thinking we should examine the statues and see what details we can make out, if there's any writing or anything like that.
Agreed.
Okay, can I ask you, are you doing anything in between walking from where you are on the path to the statues, or are you just making a beeline?
It's the most interesting.
Check.
Everyone get behind that rock, and we're just going to roll the gnome.
So what was that you said, Isabel?
A trap check.
Oh god. Oh, instead of a trap log, we have a trap gnome. So you just bowl them down, down the corridor and set up all the traps.
Just get them a really long pole and then roll them, and then the pole hits everything along the way.
Awesome. Oh, and
Amazing.
we could dip them in paint, and then that would leave a track for this is guaranteed to be safe because no traps were triggered. Yes.
Okay, so awareness searching, please.
What do I roll again? My brain
It's
is-
all on percentile dice.
Brilliant.
If you want to if you want to risk the dice roller within Fantasy Grounds, if you double click the little dice icon just to the right of where it says it, if I just do a demonstration, that is just a demonstration. It will roll it for you and tell you whether you succeeded, and it will also pop up probably a table resolver. Don't worry too much about that.
Okay.
But if that looks a little confusing, feel free to
Oh,
roll.
I've got it.
Awesome.
91.
Nice.
Nice. Okay.
And I have detect traps, which gives me a +4.
Okay. So you're walking down, looking for any
Oh no.
any tripwires, any paving stones that might be balanced or out of place, and you quite safely get to where the statues start, with not a single trap being triggered. You are fairly certain that there are no traps.
Okay, I am still suspicious of the fact that there is this building with lots of ornate things that are supposed to be in a place with no people, but we have no traps.
I mean, the only reason we think that there was no people here is because it's been surrounded by
True.
a weird storm forever. So,
And also because the person who led the expedition said he'd been here and made it back and confirmed there were no people.
it's a big place to confirm that there's no people.
While
And we have obvious evidence that not being the case.
Yes.
or people of some sort at least. While people are looking at the statues, I think I would like to keep an eye on the surroundings, that maybe look in through the doorway, just
Okay, so
make sure.
the door currently is closed. It's a stone door. Hence why I said it
okay.
looks like it might be carved to represent a doorway.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was thinking the frame, not the.
Oh, the
okay.
frame. Okay, so the frame.
Okay.
Yeah, you can absolutely investigate the frame.
Okay.
It's all either
And
stone that's been carved and put in place, or carved out of the rock of the mountain itself.
okay. I probably focusing on the bits that are carved and put into place.
Okay.
See if there are any triggers that will open doors, or perhaps
Launch another needle into your butt.
well, hopefully not my butt. I'm hoping that I'm shorter than most people who designed this, and that it will go over my head and perhaps hit someone
Yeah,
else for a
instead.
change.
I mean, if it's aimed at butt level, then if it's aimed at, say, Ganese's butt, it'd probably hit you right in the back of the neck.
Yes. Okay. Better than in the eye, which is where it could have been. Yeah, I just don't want all of us to be focusing exclusively on the statues.
That's fair. Okay, so if you want to give either a detect traps,
Cerebral 9 2006.
Excuse me?
The green one.
I have no idea what that was, but I'm going to close that. I apologise for that sound. Icarus thought I said something related to Forza Horizon, and I forgot that I hadn't closed Icarus down. My apologies, folks.
Oh, I
No
didn't
worries.
even notice it.
You wouldn't have heard it, but everyone in the channel would
Yeah.
have.
Okay.
It would have been amazing for Icarus just to pop into the call and be like, "Hey, new player has joined."
Yeah, I've had several tech issues today, rebooted several times, and I forgot to close Icarus down this time.
Okay.
So,
Well, yeah.
yes, detect traps or awareness searching, please. Your choice as to whichever is the better.
Awareness searching. I have a total of 20, and let's go with that. Do I remember? Okay, I'm just going to. Did I actually? No, I did not. Boop. 62. Awareness searching. I have. Oh, it's been so long. I cannot remember how to read this. I have a
So
rank
you
one.
want to look at the
It says
total right
plus
on the far end.
yeah.
So there'll be several pluses along the way, but
right.
it's the very
Yeah.
last one we're looking at.
Yeah, plus 20.
Okay, so that's 82. Right.
Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you.
So as a general rule, you're looking to get ideally over 110. That's kind of the guaranteed success.
Oh, well, I'll never get that on any of my skills then.
But rather than having an outright succeed, fail, because the scope of numbers is so big with Rolemaster, there's a few individual numbers that, if naturally rolled, something specific happens, like a natural 100 or a natural 66. But aside from that, you get like partial success, near success, absolute success, and on the flip side, it goes down to failure, absolute failure, spectacular failure, which is where you could fall down the side of a mountain and
Dislocate your arm.
dislocate your shoulder. Yeah. A spectacular failure while casting a spell could be very, very harmful.
Oh no.
However,
okay.
a roll of 80 something while searching around the frame of the door, the inlaid stone, is a partial success.
Oh, okay. Yay.
I can't imagine casting minor fracture repair and having a serious failure. That would be interesting.
That would be like the reverse of the spell and everything just detonating rather than healing. Anyway, to try and pull people's minds away from that possibility,
Yes.
there's numerous types of stone that have been inlaid into this. I'm no geologist, so forgive me if I get anything wrong. There's some very, very despite its apparent age, very sharp edged black stone that had you been less careful might have cut your finger on it. It is that sharp. It's all very precisely inlaid. There's some very colourful green stone, not like gemstone green, but almost like there's a copper tint to it, where obviously the copper's slightly verdigreed, and you've got this lovely green colour. But there's nothing that looks like it's going to be a trap trigger or some sort of secret opening mechanism.
Okay. Okay.
But it is all very pretty and very ornate looking.
All right. And are you all looking at the statues?
What is everyone else doing? 'Cause
I'm gonna go for the middle statue.
middle statue, left or right hand side? Because I said there's two sets of three on each side, so you've got effectively two middle statues on the left and two middle statues on the right.
On the right.
On the right. Okay, so the one nearest the mountain wall or slightly further back?
Nearest the mountain wall. We don't want the elf falling again.
Oh, but I'm going to be doing the set on the other side.
These are a long way from the mountain's edge. Here you're sort of well set into the mountain.
I feel like a critical failure while searching would still somehow push me over the edge. It just falls on top of me.
You sneeze very loudly and there's a rock slide.
Oh, God.
So, what is it about this statue that you're studying? It looks like the statue might once have been representing possibly an archer, although you can't see the fullness. They appear to be standing in a stance that would represent someone drawing a bow, and you can, from the stone attached to the foot, you can see an arc coming up out of the foot that might look like the lower limb of a bow. But the top half of the statue, from about the waist up, is missing.
Okay, I was going to say how humanoid it was, but if the top half of the statue is missing, that's
you've literally got a pair of legs that are reasonably eroded, and this sort of one spar of potentially a bow heading up to about waist height, and then it's just gone. There's nothing there. It could easily be a human, could be an elf, it could be anything that is bipedal and not one of the shorter races.
I am going to look at what possibly could have, whether it's natural erosion that's made it top half missing,
Okay.
or whether it looks like something has happened to it to cause top half missing.
Okay.
That's some
Because
serious.
for the entire top half to be missing, but there still be details.
So let's have some science analytic basic from you on that one, please. Because we're getting into a little bit of CSI here.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I get a plus 40 on that.
You're not sure. Difficult to tell. You'd probably want to spend some time looking at it, maybe go away, have a cup of tea or something, and come back and give it another look with fresh eyes, having done something else a little bit later on.
Fair enough.
So while Drudlunk is looking around this statue that's sort of half disappeared, what about you, Sam?
I'm gonna look at the one of the middle statues on the left-hand side, just to sort of see if there's anything different about if there's anything different on that side. Maybe that side's more protected from the wind or something.
Okay, so let's see. So one of the middle ones on the left-hand side. Let's again, would that be nearest the mountain or the one further back from the mountain, further away from the mountain?
Nearest the mountain.
Okay, so Sam's on that one. This one, again, probably human. There's a bit more of the statue present on this one. The head is gone, as is the right arm, from just about sort of around the shoulder area. And a chunk of the right-hand side is gone, so there's like a much narrower than would be expected waist because it's been sort of eroded or removed or whatever. So you can't see what position the right arm would have been in or wielded. The left arm is carved as holding a small shield or buckler.
Okay.
So definitely a fighter of some sort.
Okay.
And-
they're,
sorry, go on.
oh, sorry, they're wearing clothes though, right? They're not like
Yes.
classical Greek. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not too familiar with what classic. I'm no historian, so
Well-
I'm not too familiar with what classical Greek statues are depicted wearing. But
Often nothing.
okay, so they're wearing more than that.
Okay.
They definitely
Okay.
appear to have some sort of footwear. Again, everything's fairly heftily eroded, so you can't see what sort of footwear. But some of them appear to have been maybe sort of strappy sandals. Some, given that there's protrusions around the ankle, in some further up the leg, look like they might have been boots or something. And
Okay.
again, the legs don't appear to be done as naked muscular legs, but they're more flowing, almost like there's trousers or something might have been intended. So all of them have clothing to some degree, but where there is a lot of erosion that's happened, it is difficult to see where the clothing would stop and what would be depicted as flesh would start. So, Shard, what are you up to while Molly's looking at the door, Sam and Izmir looking at statues?
I think I've changed my mind about the statues because we've got two people on that. I'm gonna. So, are the statues are they just parallel with the door, or are they curved out or in or away from?
They're parallel to the back wall, so you've got. I should have really drawn something to depict this. But where the mountain has been carved out, you've got the doorway area, and then the wall goes flat for a while, and these two rows of statues are parallel to that.
And given just looking at it, the direction of their feet or stance is just straight out.
It varies.
Oh,
So
okay.
some of them are at angles. Some of them are in what look like action poses. For instance, the statue that Lyle is looking at, with one arm missing and the buckler. The legs are the feet are almost in a T shape, like they're prepared for a fight.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up to the door behind Oben and turn around and just look at the I guess call it a courtyard, and see if there's any details that stick out there. Look at the sky, because the cliff is on the other side, right, where we walked up.
Yep.
We walked around the mountain, and then it opened up. So I'm going to look out that way and see if there's any details on the horizon that maybe it is facing outward towards for a reason.
So you're facing out towards almost the way that you've walked up over the past few days from Stormhaven. You can see the 2 rows of pillars going down through this courtyard. You can see the trail where you came up and entered. And you've got not a good view of the terrain beyond, but you can see the hills that you came through. You can see beyond that the brushland, and over towards the horizon you can see the sea. You can kind of make a guesstimate as to where Stormhaven itself is, and then beyond that you can see in the very far distance the storms that form the storm wall. You can see the darker clouds. You can see where rather than everything disappearing off completely into the horizon, it kind of stops short, and you've got this dark wall of rain.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you can see rain coming down through the clouds at an angle? It looks like that off in the distance.
Wow.
Given the angle and where the sun is, Daystar, whatever we call our heat element here, when it travels through the sky, because I'm now looking south because we went north, right?
That's right.
When it travels through the sky, is there a period of time in which it would line up with the pillars at the door or the moon would? Or is it more overhead here? Are we closer to the equator?
No, you're not significantly closer to the equator. So yes, there is a time. Chances are, in actually, let's have a roll to work that out completely. Let's go with.
You're asking such good questions. I'm just going to give you answers. Oh wait, this is Rolemaster.
Yes, this is wrong.
Yes, let us roll.
Let's see what skills you have.
Kitty.
It's a very, very good question.
Well, I have.
Okay, let's have a lore general roll from you, please.
Lore. So, where would that be?
So if you look on your skills, it's below, just below your 3 awareness skills.
Oh, okay.
And then you want the number to the very far right as your bonus. So you're rolling your percentile, and then you're adding that number at the far right onto the end of it.
So, so I rolled a 66, but I've got a plus 50, so that's 100.
You rolled a 66.
I rolled a 66.
Oh.
Right, hold that thought.
Oh boy.
What? It's 115?
115.
16.
You rolled the toad butt. Yes.
We rolled the poison character.
I'm playing a character with a particularly dangerous disease, and I'm using sharp dice. I'm using my flower dice.
Oh dear.
Awesome.
Right, bear with me.
Well-
I wasn't expecting the lore to give us that kind of roll, so I didn't have that page up. See what it's giving us as a guide.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Shard, I have a curse that for my character that is unnamed and to be decided on by the GM. So I have no idea what it is, and I'm just waiting on Tinterhooks to find out. I expect to find out at the worst possible moment.
Interesting.
Yes.
See, I still just have strength and floor of very strong and uncontrollable strength.
Uncontrollable strength as a gnome. That is lovely. That is.
Well, that's important though. It's like the it's like the gnomes in, I think they were gnomes in Discworld. Or where if you tried to step on them, they were often strong enough to basically pick you up by the sole of your foot and throw you.
For the benefit of our viewers, my character, no, none of the actual other characters know these things, except
Mhm.
I think Lyle knows about both of them.
Yeah.
I am allergic.
Mm.
I am allergic to magic, specifically from the schools of essence or mentalism,
Oh, good.
and I am also cursed with hemophilia. So all bleeding wounds are doubled. Any critical that doesn't give bleeding results in a 50% chance to cause bleeding.
Oh, good.
Yep.
There's a reason. Yeah.
So
There's a
your
reason I'm covered in
character
leather.
could have been a lot worse.
And this is your healer, who uses magic for healing. Just putting that out there.
This is fine. This
Yeah.
is fine.
So, you stand there, you face out, you look up. It's a gloriously sunny day. You're tracking through where the sun might be at varying points and trying to work out through the seasons where it might be. And you sort of wander around, amble, looking up, looking at the sun, and then realise when you look down that all you can see is bright white spots in front of your eyes and you can't
Oh.
see anything else.
Oh, no.
You've done that silly thing of staring at the sun. And you can't see a damn thing. You are blind for the moment.
I'm gonna sit down slowly and close my eyes and just pretend like I am meditating for no particular reason, so no one knows that I've closed my eyes because I was an idiot.
Whoopsie.
And this is where that natural roll of 66 comes in, because had that been 65 or 67, that would have been a very good success.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Order 66 occurred and all the Jedi died.
Okay.
Now,
I mean,
everyone's
I-
looking the other way, so no one's actually necessarily spotted this because everyone's looking at the statues or the door or...
That's why I just immediately, as soon as recognized, I'm just gonna play it like I know what I'm doing.
And hope that the damage is not permanent or long lasting.
I've looked at the sun so many times as a child. I've still got good eyes.
You say wearing glasses.
I wasn't going to say that
prescription-
because I too am wearing glasses, but thank you, Sam.
These are for style, and also the prescription is so minor.
Just think, if you hadn't stared at the sun, maybe you wouldn't have needed them at all.
That's not how that works. I also stared at. I watched my uncle welding without a welding mask on. That burns.
Damn it.
Yes,
Sharon.
that does. Jesus.
Okay.
Feels like-
Oh, wow.
Anyway.
So, you've been studying these statues. They're...
Oh, does Sam, sorry. Did you have
no,
a...
it's okay.
Okay.
If Knight has something to say, then he can go ahead
Oh,
and say it.
okay.
So for
sorry.
Izumi and Sam, who were studying the statues, actually, Sam, you didn't make a roll for any questions on your statue yet, did you? So have at
I
it.
did not. Yeah, I was just gonna say that I was gonna search around the base of the statue, see if I could see anything unusual, like anything that sticks out.
Okay. You'll be happy to know that there are no poison barbs sticking out.
Thank you.
I will, however, ask you for a awareness searching roll, please.
Okay.
And my apologies to all for the coughing.
Ooh.
I am far better than I was
Okay.
this time last week, but still coughing well.
God dang. Pandora, no. Okay.
Did the cat just run off with a die?
She did, but I saw what the number was first. So
That's so sweet.
she gave me a good 5 seconds. I rolled an 86 plus 27 is 113.
Nice. So, around the base of the statue is there's all sorts of remnants of ornate carving work that sort of circles around the base of the plinth that the statue's on to what looks like was laid out as a plaque. A lot of what's on the plaque has been eroded or been chipped off or damaged. What's left doesn't look like any language you've come across before. Certainly none of the languages that you've seen in the rest of the known world.
Ooh.
Whether there's any way of trying to piece together what it might have said, you're not so sure because you're working with an unknown language. But there is something there, and it did once say something.
Okay. Is it legible enough that I can maybe copy it down?
Yeah, absolutely. There's not a lot there that is legible, but you can make a copy of what is visible.
Okay. I do that. If I don't have anything else for it, then I'll just copy it down on the back of one of my maps.
That's fair. That said, if you've got paper, you can always do a rubbing of it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say was a rubbing, because rubbings will pick up a lot of details.
Yeah, I think I've got paper. Yeah, I've got parchment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is a thing you can do, absolutely.
So I can share that.
Yeah, I will absolutely let Oben help with that.
Okay.
Cool.
Excellent.
You have no idea how much Lyle's opinion of Oben just off of the fact that he's now done something useful.
You have done something useful and not been poisoned while doing it.
Meanwhile, Denise is just sitting there saying nothing.
Sorry, what were you saying, Sam?
I'm also just gonna remind Knight that my character has dispelling touch, so anything that I touch needs to make RR versus my level or be dispelled.
I had forgotten that, yes.
I don't know if it's got any applications here, but just figured I'd remind you.
I had forgotten. It doesn't have an application on this statue, but thank you for reminding me because I will keep that in mind for the rest of the session.
Okay.
Is that a boon or a curse? Like
some of both, I think.
I think the answer there is yes.
Yes. And next time we camp, would casting Learn Language level 2 be of any use whatsoever in reading, in trying to decipher the rubbing?
That's a very good question. I'll come back to you on that one.
Also,
beware all you who enter here.
we need to go through mine because I've still got in notes language 6 points, but we haven't actually picked
So
anything.
I haven't sorted everyone's languages yet because I'm still building the world. But it is safe to say that because of the amount of isolation this continent has had, any native languages here you won't know.
Yes.
However, magically learning a language makes it possible that you possibly could. So I need to go and investigate the spell. Bear with me. I will come back to you on that one.
Okay. No rush. This is why I printed out the spells so I could remember that I have them. Can I do anything?
In previous games of Rolemaster, that I think is one of the most useful things the players have done. So where players have got specific weapons that they use, they've got the to hit charts and the crit charts. And, it means that the GM isn't having a 5-finger bookmark in 3 different books.
Yes, exactly. And trying to remember all of my stats and the things that I have, because I have my notes in 2 different notebooks, of course. So, so this is all my stuff.
Oh gosh. You came prepared.
I tried, but also if anyone needs a sewing kit, I have one.
Beautiful.
If one of you gets cut up, I can use it to fix you.
So, while Oben and Lyle are now taking a rubbing of the plaque on this one statue, and Ganesa is meditating, that brings us back to Drudlunk. So you've had a look at this one statue that's been that half of which is missing. You're not quite sure why so much is missing of this compared to the others where there's a lot less missing. But what are you up to next?
I want to see if the door opens.
See if the door opens. Okay, so you're standing in front of what should be the door. There's a very clear frame. It's roughly human-sized, maybe a little taller. But there's no clear handle or latch or anything. Just despite all the weathering around it, a relatively smooth stone face. Not as smooth as the very, very black, sharp bits that Oban found at various points around the door frame, but this is certainly smoother and less weathered than everything else around here.
The stone of the door, does it fit together? Like, can you slide things into it?
No, it's too close of a seal to do that. You might possibly get the edge of a very sharp blade in there, but that would dull the blade if you actually tried to do anything like lever it or...
Sorry, Izumi. I am very excited to watch a gnome open stone doors.
Can I use my uncontrollable strength
Oh,
to
God.
see if it works?
Just push the top of the mountain off.
Oh my god.
Right.
Well, we have a volcano now.
Well,
This
there
is
was
fine.
something up there, but something happened.
Okay. Let's take a butcher's. Uncontrollable strength. So, would you be kind enough to roll me?
Oh no.
Roll
Okay.
athletic brawn, please.
+60 plus 13, so 73.
So that it doesn't feel like anything is even shifting an inch. Even with your
Just a 3-foot gnome at the door going.
basically, yeah.
With your feet just like sliding out from underneath because you can't get traction.
Little paddling. Oh. Okay. Well, has anyone tried knocking at the door?
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah, let's try it.
Like,
I'll go over and knock.
yeah.
Are you knocking with your hand? Are you going to take the
My
Yeah.
hand.
the pommel of
Yeah.
your weapon? Or
Crunch, crunch, crunch. Oh crap! I broke my knuckles.
Just as long as the door doesn't look obviously sharp, just my
Nope.
hand.
doesn't look obviously
Yeah.
sharp. As I say, it's a big stone door. It's
Mhm.
weathered, but not to the degree that most of everything else. The only thing that is
Okay.
less weathered than this door are the various very smooth with sharp edges, black parts of stone that are inlaid around the door frame.
Okay.
Okay.
And okay. And
But yeah, no, I'll just
Knock on the door.
knock on the door.
You can hear the wind howling in the background, possibly
I
Ganesa
recommend
mumbling as they meditate.
I recommend using this part in your hand, not this part or this part.
yeah. Do any of the black stone areas that are inlaid press in or push out, or any of them
Nothing.
movable?
It's all
Nothing.
very, very securely set. There's nothing that's going to give even a millimeter as you push on it. But the
Okay.
stone, the black stone is very pretty.
It's very pretty. Ooh. Do I have a crowbar?
The black stone is being mentioned an awful lot. Maybe we need to
Yeah.
investigate the black stone.
Put some
Is
blood on it.
I was thinking we could pry it out. I have.
I don't recommend that we damage anything.
We wouldn't be damaging. We would be taking it back for curation.
Removing anything from a structure like this, especially something that looks decently religious could have the effect of getting the ire of whatever gods this is meant to be for. If that is the
But-
case, tearing it apart for examination elsewhere would be bad for the whole of Stormhaven.
But it's pretty, and I want it. I'm okay. Look, this is no worse than what the British Museum has done in the past. So, you know, I mean, Elgin. I'm thinking Elgin marbles. Like, let's take the pretty black stone and secure it away from weathering. But if you
It doesn't
all
look like it's being weathered. It seems to be not weathered compared to everything else. Before you try to dismantle, let's figure out what it does, if it needs to
Fine.
be there, and etc. If
You
it
know-
doesn't happen to be a shrine, then maybe I'll let you dismantle it, but we're not dismantling it right now.
let me.
Yes. Oh, the indignation.
Does it need
Oh.
blood sacrifice? We could just all run up and just.
Oh my goodness.
Well, okay. Were you pushing? Pushing this way, like trying to slide the door, or trying to push it in?
Forward.
Okay.
Push inward.
Can we? We could try sliding, or we could try. Okay, how high is this thing? Is it built into the cliffs, into the
Yeah,
mountains?
it's all
we
carved
can't
out of the
climb over?
mountainside.
Hmm.
The door frame itself encompasses a door that's roughly humanoid shape and size. Humanoid sized. Obviously, it's a door. It's rectangular. The doorway would fit your average humanoid and someone that's maybe 6 inches to a foot taller without them needing to duck.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm. Is there anything to indicate that this is actually a door and not just a false door? Like there would be like a spiritual or symbolic door, like in an ancient Egyptian tomb in
It
our
could
world.
it could easily be. So far, there's been nothing to indicate that it is or isn't
I
an actual
thought
door.
that there was, at least physically, that's what it looks like. There's nothing to indicate it. But the design of it is basically a larger scale model of the smaller scale at the waypoints. And those doors were open for putting offerings in.
Yeah. Oh, good point. Is there any other location that we can see that might be good for presenting an offering?
Yeah, so on each door around the frame, there is a smallish carved out section that maybe goes back a couple of inches that you could potentially put something in. It's not a big space, but yeah, now you come to look at it, actually, yeah, both sides of the door have this little indentation.
Okay.
Does it look like there was ever any smoke staining in those little indentations?
Awareness searching, please.
Ooh.
Come on, another 66.
I would like to look at the one that she's not looking at as well.
Okay.
Can she
Insa.
see it yet?
And
Can she see it yet? Because they were blinded.
68.
Hey,
Yes.
you were close.
Yeah,
but
after
you
a few
didn't
minutes,
get another-
your eyesight returns. Yes.
Okay. Yes,
That's
sorry.
that's a roll of 100 plus 32, so 132.
Holy shit.
Wait,
okay,
do I need to
my-
re-roll those because they were both 10s?
Yeah, that's a natural 100. That is a re-roll and added on. Open-ended rolls are a thing.
Oh, right. Anything over 95 for me because I'm lucky.
Yes.
Okay, so apparently my character's rolls suck
Oh,
because all of my bonuses are like 5, 14. I have a 20 in searching, but that only brings me up to 88. Wow.
189.
Oh, for crying out loud, that's just not fair.
That is an insane roll, but it's an observation roll, and yes, there is an amount of darkening of the interior, so it's entirely possible that something has been burnt there several times in its multiple times in its lifetime.
What do I have to offer that I can afford to get rid of but that I need?
Knight, did you say what shape these indentations were?
They're kind of almost as if how's best to, if you take some clay and just sort of scoop your hand in and then pull it out, it's kind of that rough shape.
Oh, cool.
So it's about fist size then.
Yep.
I'm gonna take because I was gonna use the skull for other things, not that I would do weird things with bones. I'm gonna take the bottom jaw of the lion skull, and I am going to crumble it up in my mortar and pestle, and I'm going to put that into the hole.
Okay, it's going to take a bit of time to crumble up that, relatively speaking, fresh skull.
Yeah, I'm not. The teeth I'm going to remove separately and put them on top of the powdered jawbone inside of it. So basically, I'm going to have a little bit of twigs to get it started. Once I do get the offering going, to be able to light it on fire, the powdered bone on top of that, and then the teeth lined up on top of the powdered bone.
Okay, so that's going to take a little bit of time to powder that up. So while Ganesa is taking this up and powdering it out, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm sorry. Go on.
I'm asking Ganesa what the hell she's doing.
I am building an offering. Just a correction on that. Once I do get the whole process, the time it takes, I'm going to do that to both of the indentations. So there's going to be an even amount of both offerings in both sides.
Okay.
So basically, I am offering something that matters to me and could potentially be useful to whoever or whatever uses this place, and maybe that will open the door, or it might, kill me, but so far I haven't died.
Yeah. The rest of us have stuff we could sacrifice as well if you don't want to keep doing all of this, but...
Are you willing to sacrifice anything that is important to you?
I have the mountain lion heart that's already desiccated, but...
We could use that.
Yeah, but then if you are determined, basically Open is a little cranky that Ganesa... I'm sorry, I have so much difficulty with your name. Ganesa is just like making decisions for the whole party without inquiring or consulting anyone else, and is just like, this is getting a little... So...
And that's perfectly valid.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no reason for you to not be happy.
Just like, but if you wish to to decide these things for all of us, then without consultation.
I feel if it goes wrong, that it'll backfire mostly on me, and you can run away.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst they're arguing and
Are you going?
the
bickering
of the gnome is looking for other entrances, and I'm not sure what would help with it. But given the fact that I have burglar package as part of my training packages, I'm sure there might be something within that would help me in finding a back entrance or a sneaky entrance that no one else may have noticed.
Please do not roll a 66 or a failure that just keeps cycling, because You're
No
gonna
one's
go and
gonna
look
know
for an
where I
entrance,
am.
and it's gonna end up being like an air shaft.
Yes,
Or I just get completely lost and no one knows where I am because
Oh,
everyone's
no.
like distracted. and I'm-
you go into a badger hole to investigate whether it's actually, actually a secret path tunnel underneath the wall, into the place, and you get lost. Oh, and
Okay,
I'll have to dig you out because I won't get lost underground.
Right, so let's start with awareness searching as you start looking around for alternative entrances or things that might be an entrance.
87.
Okay. So you can't see at first glance anything that might excuse me, that might pass as an alternate way of entering. This does seem to be the only door, if indeed it is a door.
Okay. Are there any windows?
No. No, it is literally this door frame with what's probably a door, possibly a door, maybe a door, carved into the wall, the rock wall, stone wall, where this whole area appears to have been literally carved out of the side of a mountain.
The faces you make.
I'm just going to continue searching round whilst they are
Okay.
doing the sacrificial things and seeing if I can find sneakiness.
All right, Lyle, how about you?
I'm also just gonna take a while to sort of look around, see if there's anything I missed, examine the bits of the wall that are a little bit further out. Just kind of take my time while Kinesa's spending like an hour powdering bone.
Okay, so taking a look around, as previously described, there's 2 sets of 3 on each side. So 12 statues in total, all in various states of erosion and destruction. The worst of which is in the first row on the right hand side, which actually is the central one. So where Drudlunk is looking at the one nearer the wall, the one further out than that is literally nothing but a pair of feet. The rest of it's gone.
Oh goodness.
The others
Safe for Twitch.
are in various states of decay and erosion and bits missing, but the 2 central ones on this side are the worst hit. So this one is just feet, and the next one is from the waist up missing.
Okay.
The others describe a spearman, someone with a tower shield and a
I'm so sorry.
and a short sword. Oh, not unlike a Roman legionary. I sometimes worry about my players.
You should.
Yeah, but all 12 statues are depicting a fighter of some sort.
Okay.
Or a combatant of some sort, because obviously not everyone that picks up a weapon is necessarily a fighter, but certainly a combatant of some sort.
Not everyone that picks up a sword is a fighter, but everyone that picks up a sword obviously has a reason for having a sword.
Sometimes it's because the sword is just cool.
Oh, look, pretty sharp thing. Ouch.
Yes.
That's also true.
So
So
maybe I should aim the sharp, pointy part towards other people.
So as time rolls on, we kind of get towards through lunch, and Ganesa now has a lot of powdered skull bone.
And we're still
And some
bickering,
teeth.
but I'm assuming.
The bickering is still going on between Ganesa and
Yeah.
Oban.
How would you like to use the heart in this or not?
Well,
Because
at
if
this
you
point,
are, we're going to need.
you've just spent an hour, and now you finally ask me that. No, I'm keeping the damn heart. Anything, you're just making all the decisions. Fine, I'm just going to go over here and.
I just gave you the opportunity to add to and make a decision.
After an hour of this.
I go over and
Prepare.
pat the dwarf on the head just very gently and scamper back off to hide it away while searching.
Is that sort of a there?
Yeah.
I think since you are so frustrated, you should keep the heart for medicine making later.
Medicine you but just Oban will stop mumbling and basically do a it's okay, everything is fine, we'll get out of this. We've only got another week or two in together. It'll be fine, everything is good, let us move on.
Is Lyle still wandering around looking at things, or are you nearby?
I'd say I'm nearby at this point.
Lyle, do you want to help me by setting up the ritual on the other side, the offering on the other side?
Yeah, sure. I'll take half of the stuff you've gathered and take it over to the other side then.
Clear favoritism here.
I trust the chill nature of someone I've known for 20, 30 years. I can't remember. 10?
It's been about 15, I think.
15
but
years?
Yeah.
Yeah, nepotism. That's what it is. Not, there are in groups and out groups, but and at this point, Oban's just muttering to himself, just kind of defeated, not really angry anymore, just like, there are in groups and out groups, and I think I'm basically the out group, and this is just, it's okay though, it's fine.
Ganesa is just
We'll make it
closing
back.
it off for now. It's something to deal with later. Focusing on the work.
While they've all been arguing and stuff, I've been picking up like pretty bits of decaying rock that
Okay.
have been on the floor, and go over to Oban and offer peace offering of these pretty rocks to the grumpy dwarf.
Oh, he tears up a little bit, and he's like, "Oh, thank you. That's really so kind. I really appreciate that. I mean, yeah, you get to choose the story tonight at the campfire.
Aw.
Thank you." And wipes away a little tear with the end of his beard. Not everybody hates me. That's good. Okay.
So what are Lyle and Ganesa doing in terms of setting up this ritual offering?
I think Shard described the sort of arrangement pretty well, and then we're going to probably try and light each of the things at the same time, or at least as close as we can get it. I'm assuming that Ganesa also has a flint and steel.
Okay. So it's sort of a 3, 2, 1. Frantically try and get it lit.
Oh my god. I can imagine contests for speed lighting between people who used flint and steels in the past. Just, we're bored. Let's see who can light this fire fastest. Oh crap, I broke my flint.
Okay.
So you, after a little bit of faffing. You get them both lit.
Sweet.
And can I have from the pair of you, if you have the skill, awareness? I think it's awareness. Awareness, perception, please.
Oh, sure, but I probably won't do very well.
That's
God,
fine.
for two people that live in the wilderness, that's oversight.
Oh, never mind. Okay. Okay, so
Oh shit!
105 plus 67 is
Is really good.
172.
Wow. Okay.
Two 250.
You got what? Sorry.
God damn it.
250.
Bloody hellfire.
I rolled a 95. I rolled a 95, and then I rolled 100.
Right. I need
And
to
then I
check
rolled
something
60.
here.
I'm thinking the next
Okay.
time that we have combat, I'm not going to be rolling like this.
So,
Yeah, no, karma's gonna bite us in the ass, Chard.
the pair of
problem
you
is that no.
get this lit with the powder and the teeth and it's lit and burning. And you look at it, and it's not burning quite right. Nothing appears to be being consumed in the burning. It's just
Interesting.
there and happening. It took you a minute or two of watching and waiting for something to happen to realise, but yeah, nothing's being consumed as it burns.
Hmm.
I hate to ask this, Lyle, and hopefully you don't hurt yourself too much, but if I cut myself, it's going to bleed. Do you mind if we use some of your blood as part of the offering?
Sure,
We
but
don't
I'm
have
sure
to,
it's
it's-
a good idea for you to be the one. Like, I think we have some other perfectly good blood from people
No.
who don't get.
That's why I was asking if you were willing to use some of yours, if you're willing to be part of this experiment.
No,
I don't
absolutely
feel
can.
safe doing so.
Yeah, I'm perfectly happy to. So I'll take out my dagger and just nick my finger, doing as little damage as I can manage while still getting a decent drop of blood.
Yep, you can do yourself, say, 3 points of damage. That's really minimal as far as Rolemaster's concerned. And drop a couple of bits of blood from the tip of your finger
Okay.
onto yours first, or both, obviously, and then walk across, or you're going to drip a couple on yours and then see what happens before you go across the shards.
I'll drip a couple on mine and then immediately go across the shards. Maybe like giving it a glance if something immediately happens, but
Okay, nothing
If not,
immediately
then I'll
happens,
just-
so you head across to where Ganesa is and do the same, and proceed to watch and wait. And that little drop of red that's now in with the powdered bone doesn't darken, doesn't dry, doesn't burn, just sits there like a drop of blood that had freshly that second been dropped.
And these are hand-sized holes.
Mhm.
My
Ooh.
brain said lick it.
Remember, it's burning. I'm just going to say that. Remember, it is burning.
My brain still said lick it.
And as you
I'm
dropped
not
the
gonna
as you drop the drop of blood in, you could feel the heat from the flame. So there is actual heat there.
Okay, I was thinking, let's put our hands in there.
That's why I was very specific in saying you can feel the heat. It is a fire.
Okay,
But
I'll
don't
go
look
over
at
to
it,
the
don't put in hands.
Sorry, Izumi?
I'll go back over to the other side and just see if the exact same thing is happening
Exact
over
same
here. Are we just gonna keep putting things in this fire until something happens? Probably.
No, well, probably, but I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Gradually build this massive bonfire on these two little pieces.
Well, I'm. Your blood is important to your life, but it's not burning any more than the rest of it. Bones are important to my craft. Fire is usually important for basically causing the offering to ascend. But in the way stations, the offering basically vanished almost instantly with no ash left over.
Correct.
In this case, the offerings are not disappearing at all, but the fire is staying.
Correct.
So I think we need to sit for a minute and work through what is going on. Maybe Drudlunk and Oben has ideas for how to kick this off. Or maybe we need to wait until a certain time of day.
Oben is. Yeah, sorry. Go on.
My brain is just saying lick it. But that's obviously not a good idea because
Probably not.
Oben is going to wander off and start meandering around, searching things at random, just in the field in front of the wall, because he's cranky and he needs a little bit of time alone.
Okay.
So, oh, now you ask for. You can occasionally hear things drifting back, like, oh, now she asks for help. Oh, yeah, ideas. I'll just look for useful plants over here, and then I won't give them to them when they need them. Any of them except for the gnome. Dreadlunk's okay, but yeah.
Would science analytic operate in trying to understand potential religious practice and how to have an offering? Blah blah blah.
Science analytic is exactly that. It is science. It is the physical nature of things. The understanding that if you drop something, it will drop. Unless affected by some sort of magic instance.
For a wizard, I have a lot of reason.
You'd be looking more for lore magical, or because there is something evidently magical here, because nothing is being consumed, and yet there is a fire. So, by law of physics, that should be consuming the fuel, but it's not.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So there is something magical at the base of it somewhere.
I have law magical.
Feel free to
it would
roll
be
on
useful if y'all could help with the lore magical, but we've got a grumpy friend over there that needs to have some. You know what? Maybe they're hangry.
I'm going to roll and see what happens.
Okay,
I
so
won't say no if you have chocolate.
And not much is going to happen because that is not a very good roll.
Ooh.
okay, yeah, you basically going on what you've overheard while they've been doing that, and you've been looking around. That's not really ticking anything into your brain other than something magical's happening.
I rolled a 95. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, closest I have is Lord General, so I'm going to be useless here.
What did you roll the 95 on, Shard?
Lore magical.
Okay. Was that the total, or your roll was 95?
That was the total.
Okay. So there's a couple of ways that it could go. You've come across spells and enchantments that can cause a smallish light to burn seemingly forever, and some people have used it to power lanterns for use at night, but that wouldn't seem to be the usage here. It could be that there's something else with it as well, maybe. But there's an extra piece of information that's somewhere in the back of your mind. You just can't quite get to it.
All right, I think that we should probably set up in the courtyard away from most of this so that we don't disturb it and have ourselves a little fire and lunch. Have a think.
I'm down.
Yep, absolutely.
Fair
You can
enough.
set yourselves up for some lunch. You got plenty of space to sit down and make yourself up a bit of a campfire, assuming you brought some bits of wood with you, because you're up a mountain now. This is a clearing. There's no trees.
Have I found any useful plants while I've been grumbling and foraging?
Do you have the foraging skill?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. Make a roll for me, please.
All right. Let's see. Foraging is plus 31. I'm going to try adding my. Oh, and I don't know how to do that. So we'll just. Okay, we'll try rolling where we're supposed to. So I have. Let's see, 31, and I rolled 39, so that's 70. Damn it! I do not like these dice.
Yeah, feel free to use your own dice.
I think I will from now on.
Yeah, feel free to. So
Yeah.
it's there as an option, but if you're comfortable with it, go with it. If you're not, don't. That's fine.
I never
I'm not-
trust the dice. on this.
I have been rolling badly all day, so just see.
You're more than welcome to drop
Yeah.
Fantasy Grounds dice into the dice jail and switch dice.
Mhm.
After all, we've done it with different sets of physical dice in the past. I'm sure we've all done that. So, absolutely. So yeah, unfortunately, nothing in the immediate area is usable in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, fine. Then I will not make a salad, but I will sit elsewhere. Sit around. I will sit around the campfire and assuming we have one, and pointedly not tell stories.
Okay. Can I look around to see if there's anything made of meat that I can catch?
I mean, we've got the whole smoked lion.
Oh yeah, that's true,
you've got food from a previous catch with you that would last you more than just one meal.
Is Oben vegetarian or is Oben an omnivore?
Open is omnivorous.
Is Oben going to partake of the shared meat?
Well, from his own stash of it, yes. Because I'm assuming we didn't just have it all in one central location, but parceled it
No,
out.
of course not.
I'm assuming it was divvied up and.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. The chewing of preserved meat will probably vent some of his spleen and irritation.
It's fun. If Urban isn't going to tell stories, then Dreadlunk will just sit right next to Urban and sing random songs out of tune really badly whilst eating food.
Oh, okay. I'm smashing the.
Entertain.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Oh, I'm smashing the adoption button, definitely.
That is lovely.
Ganisa is going to take out some of the travel bread and warm it up near the fire and then make thin slices of the meat and add it and then some of the dried cheese to it and then make a sandwich that don't exist. But it seems like an easy way to carry food to the mouth.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna give some of my meat to my massive dog, and then I'm going to.
Oh yeah, we keep forgetting about our companions.
Yep. For those that don't know, Lyle does have a rather large dog,
Wolf
which
dog.
is which is his steed.
I still need to choose one. Hello.
Yes.
Izumi has a steed as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Shard has a companion, which, if I recall, is an owl.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a snowy owl. The more vicious of the various owl species.
In answer to your earlier question, Sam, there's nothing that you can see on the ground around here, but there are plenty of birds around, so you'd probably need to shoot rather than track and hunt.
Yeah.
Or there's the previously acquired
Mhm.
meat that you could just go, yeah, I'll not bother hunting here.
You know, Lyle,
Not worth losing an arrow.
if you don't want to lose arrows, I can send Shiver out to get some birds for you.
No, it's fine. We have plenty of meat. I just wanted to get something done. Anyways, while we're eating, I'm going to take out. I'm actually going to sit semi-close to Oben and take out the maps, which I hadn't been sharing with anybody previously, just
Mhm.
to sort of picture where we are in relation to what we've already got mapped, and hopefully make Oben feel a little bit more included.
Okay, so for the benefit of those watching, what you can see here is one of Lyle's maps. Down here you can see Stormhaven. This is where they came from. And the crew have marched north and are now at the top, very tip of this area in these mountains. Just a little bit westwards, so kind of in this top left corner of the map just here.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And
Okay.
Sam, you've got access to the map. As soon as you tell me that you're willing to share that map with everyone, I will share the image and everyone else will be able to see it too.
Perfect.
Cool. Okay.
But until such time as you say it's shared, it won't be.
Mm-hmm. Well, now it is shared.
It is,
I can't
okay.
remember where to access it from, though.
Right, so in the right-hand side, if you look at images,
Okay.
and if there is a drop-down group, make sure that is it should be set to all. It should only show the images for this, and this is sketch 1. So if I okay, I'm going to briefly stop sharing and reshare it, so it'll disappear from yours for a second, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
That should now be shared to all. What the folks can now see on screen currently, because I need to reopen the map, is the map of the known world, and this shaded area is where our players are. It is held off by, marked off by a storm wall around this edge.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone should now have access to sketch 1.
Yes. Oh.
So you can see Stormhaven marked on the map, just about a third of the way up, and you're literally up in the top left corner of that map.
And wow, it's fascinating. I mean, how do you get the ground and the terrain so small that it fits on the map, on the paper? I don't. So
no.
I note it down myself. I draw.
Oh, so
I sketch it out.
Oh, so it's not some sort of magic then. See, I've always wondered about maps because they're fascinating, but I just assumed that it was something like a spell that would transcribe everything. So, but you have to do it manually. Wow, that's impressive. Cool.
Thank you.
I like that there's only 2 notations on the sketch. There is Stormhaven and Forest.
Yes.
Yep.
Well,
Next, he can add mountain and wet place.
Yep.
Don't forget, it is only a scout's sketch, so it's very, very sparse.
Mm-hmm.
yes, but we also need to add a place where Toadbutt Trail and
Toadbutt Trail.
and
I like that.
And Falling Elf. I think Glade. I think would be a good thing. And then of course
Definitely make a note
ruins.
of that for later.
Yes, and then of course mysterious, pointless ruins.
Wow,
Which is where we are
you
now.
are cranky.
But we can't figure out what the point of them is, can we? I mean, assuming that we're assuming that the niches are intended for offerings, which admittedly does make sense, but it's they're not doing anything. I mean, are we offering the wrong materials? Is this a god that does not like dead things, for instance?
Possible.
Maybe Oben is feeling a little bit better after having some food. May have been slightly hangry. But little food, little time by himself, and we're all good. But I mean, what do you all want to do about this? I mean, because we can try other things. Can you get the powdered bone stuff back?
Probably not without
potentially
incurring some sort of pain from the fire.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could use push it out with a dagger, the tip of a dagger, push it out from the niche, and then extinguish the fire, and then see what happens. And
I'm not sure that we should try extinguishing the fire or taking the offering back, because it is doing a thing, and that is not burning the offering.
Yeah.
But
Usually,
to take an offering back, I feel like...
Well, fair. I was just thinking...
we might piss someone off.
We could use the pretty black stone and add that in.
Yeah.
How would we acquire pretty black stone?
Just chip a little bit and put it in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
I will say that would be a good idea if you can verify that those stones have been chipped at previously.
Okay. I shall look at the stones.
Okay.
Would that be awareness searching?
Look, awareness searching, yes, please.
Okay.
98 and 19.
You rolled 98.
Yes.
Roll again and add it
Nice.
on, please.
58. So 98 add 58 add 19.
Okay, big number.
Yes.
More than sufficient for the purposes.
Awesome.
Whilst you can't necessarily see where it came from, there appears to be a couple of very small fragments of this at the bottom of the right-hand side of the door.
I don't have to chip it. I found these bits.
Oh.
All right. Do you want to
Okay.
do...
Did you pick them up?
Yeah. Gently, and I'm wearing gloves.
That is the voice of an experienced role player.
Okay.
Am I wearing gloves? Oh, no. I don't think I have gloves.
Could you
think
please
the
make
reason
me, by way of a close proximity to the level of fine dexterity required, could you make me a picking locks roll, please?
Ooh.
You're not actually picking a lock, but you are manipulating these with that level of dexterity.
Both 10.
That's 100.
That's a natural 100. Okay, fine. Roll again and add it on.
Okay.
Well,
Fine, I don't get to cut your fingers open.
Okay, so what you do indeed present is a couple of very fine slivers of this black, shiny stone that look really, really sharp.
I want to poke something, but I won't. I'll put them in the fire. Oh, in the fire.
Okay.
Okay.
You put both these into the two fires, one on each side. And like everything that's been put in there so far, nothing's happening. There's no sign of the shine on the stone being matted at all. There's no sign of the heat having any effect on the stone. There's no sign of the stone starting to crumble or get damaged by the heat.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there looking very shiny in this fire that's now got a little bit of blood and some powdered bone.
I'm going to knock on the door again.
Is this
How are you knocking?
I am going to. Are there any? Because I don't feel like knocking with my fist is actually going to make a sound. Are there any fist-sized rocks like that'll fit in my hand laying around?
There is plenty of rock and stone lying around, being crumbled from the statues, from the pillars, from the mountain
Right.
itself.
Mm-hmm.
There is not a shortage of rubble.
I'm going to pick out one that feels relatively solid, not crumbly, and hopefully rounded, so it's not going to try and chip the door.
Okay.
And I'm going to knock that against the door to make a knocking sound.
How heftily are you doing this? Is this sort of a gentle tap tap, or are you really sort of giving it some?
Somewhere in between, because I don't want to. I'm trying not to break the door itself, so in between, so that it's actually loud, but not like smashing thing.
Okay, so you knock on the door with this stone, and it falls. It sort of comes apart in your hand and falls to the floor because you were holding the stone as it was. It cracks and just falls out of your hand into multiple pieces as it hits the floor. The door is now has a slight dusty mark where the stone impacted.
I wipe it off.
Yep, it looks exactly as it did before now, undamaged.
Interesting.
Are we supposed to get through this door?
Or
Maybe
are we?
we come back later. I mean, we've
Yeah.
got. Go ahead.
I'll try knocking with the pommel of my dagger, getting the idea from Ganisa.
Okay, just 1 second. Let me double check your dagger.
Mm-hmm.
And what it's made out of.
Oh.
I just need to check
If
one or
it's-
two
Mm-hmm.
facts or otherwise about the dagger.
If it breaks, it's not my main weapon, and it's just like I can get a new one when I get back. So
Okay, so you tap it with the pommel of your dagger. Nothing happens, either to the door or your dagger.
Magpie, we can't speak the languages that we've seen here, and we only have partial bits and pieces to go on. But I would know the Elvish word for friend. 4 different Elvish words for friend, actually.
Mm.
So all of the statues appear to have had some sort of weapon.
Yep. I mean, it's not entirely. It's not possible to work out at all what the statue that's just a pair of feet would have had. But given
Right.
that the others have some remnant of either shield or weapon or something, it's fair to assume that that statue would also have had a weapon, as all the others did.
I can't fit a whole arrow in there, but maybe a couple of heads from a couple of my arrows. Offering of weapons that we use regularly.
Yeah, you could break the tip of an arrow off and drop that in.
Yeah, I'll use the whole arrowhead.
Okay.
One
on each
from
side?
2 of my arrows. 1 on each side.
Okay, and once again, you put them in, and nothing appears to happen to them. Again, they don't show any signs of being darkened at all by the flame or nothing. They're just exactly as you drop them in. And again, you can still feel the heat of the flame as your hand was near.
Okay. While they're doing all of this, I think Oben has decided that this is not an actual door that we can open. It's more of a spiritual door, and he's going to try to decipher or start deciphering the rubbing that we took of the
Okay.
language by using his level 2 lore spell, Learn Language 2.
That would accelerate the learning of a language that you already had,
Yeah.
like a means of learning.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I can't decipher. I
Not-
have to.
Not without
okay.
some sort of Rosetta Stone
Oh, well,
or
crap.
equivalent thereof.
Okay. Well, so much for that plan then.
We've been running for about an hour and 40. Do we want to take a break or do we want to keep going?
I'm good to take a 5 minute break if folks want to get up, stretch their legs, top up their drinks, do all the healthcare things. I am absolutely
Okay.
fine
was
with
about to
that.
ask.
Okay.
All right, folks. So take 5, literally.
All right.
And folks, if there's anyone in chat that's got any questions, when I get back, I'll be happy to answer them. But I'm also going to take 5 as
Okay.
well. So see you all
Awesome.
in 5 minutes.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Okay, we have returned.
Hmm.
And just as we were coming back, our players were having some discussion as to what to do and how to do it and what they might do next. Ultimately, it is a role-playing game, so if you want to role-play figuring this out further and do other things, that's cool. If you decide you want to turn around and go back, that's something we can work out too. The choice is yours.
I mean, there was the trail. I mean, we did sort of take this trail. Is there? But it basically ends here.
Yeah, this was
Okay.
a hey, we found something interesting. We found person-made roadway / path, and we followed it to its end. I think, given our skill set, we've learned as much as we can. We should take down notes for what we found and how to get here, and hopefully we can have the town send back another group with people more outfitted for archaeology and/or religious rites.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good because I mean, yeah, I have no powers whatsoever in religion. So I pretty much think it's a spirit door and it's not meant to open to anyone on this plane. So
I mean, that is a possibility. It
Either
is
that-
getting.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
So, well, either that or we're offering the completely wrong thing and it's being rejected, and that's why it's not burning.
Absolutely true. As it is,
Yeah.
I don't think that we should remove what we have offered, because if we do, it might cause more problems than just leaving it.
Yeah, I mean that is fair. I mean, if it were truly offensive rather than just not, not to the whatever god lives here their taste, then they could have exploded something or sent sent hostile vibes our way.
That would have been a really quick death for Lyle and me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let's see, because we've examined. There's nothing to push. There's nothing like a doorbell. The closest thing that we have are the niches, and we can't. Well, all of the stuff. I mean, the only other thing I can think is we couldn't fit a dagger into one of the things because I was just thinking all of the statues were holding weapons.
That's why I put my arrowheads in there, because those should have worked as a weapon.
Okay.
Now, if we are going to head back and go down the other path, since we do still have enough food and time in our little expedition, do we want to set up camp up here, or do we want to travel down to the first waypoint?
With the time as it is, it would be dark before you reach that first waypoint.
Yeah. I would be inclined personally to stay here anyway, just in case it is time locked. Like it only opens under the moon beams or something. But I'm open to discussion from other people. I'm not, whatever everybody else thinks.
I would agree on camping here if it's going to be dark before we get to the next spot.
Oh yeah.
Then we camp here and start our way down. In the morning.
I don't think this party has been in a hurry the entire time. We have taken multiple breaks, taken our time setting up camp. Like,
Hey.
Well, I mean, as far as we know, we're not on a time crunch. We're just exploring in the way that works best.
Yeah.
And we haven't
Typically
had to
not
touch the
stressing
big
everyone to
yet.
hell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. What did you say? It's me. I'm sorry. I couldn't.
And we haven't had to touch those hard biscuits yet because we found food, so it's fine.
That's true. Well, except for the sandwich earlier. Yes.
all right, then we should camp here.
Okay.
Okay, so
read some books.
XP. What's that? We
XP is the thing I try and remember to issue after every scenario. I keep tallies of what you've killed and what you've done and how far you've travelled, and they're just totally up at the end of the scenario. I tried doing it for every session, but the end of one session and the beginning of the following session ended up like some kind of audit session where we were just right. So I did this. I did so. It's easy to just do it at the end of the story.
That makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I still need to give XP for the storyteller story I ran. I will do that before I next run storyteller. So you set up camp, and you get a fire going. Start sorting out warmth and food and what your watch routine is. And as you're getting settling down to eat your evening meal, and the sun's out of sight and the moon's coming up, from this doorway there's a sort of whooshing sound, like you might hear in a blacksmith forge as he's getting the fire going. It's only brief, and then you hear the sound of stone on stone.
Ooh.
Oh, now you move.
The moon, just real quick, when I had asked last session what the phase of the moon was, you had said it is either new or close to.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've only been going for a few days, so it's nowhere near a full moon. The moon's not giving a lot of light. It's obscured by cloud.
Okay.
Well, I'll bring my bow when I hear that and sort of look around.
Okay.
I look at the doors themselves.
Yes.
So the fires either side have gone out.
I'm going to go and look at one of the fire spots and see if anything's left in it.
There's nothing there. The stone is blackened as if there was an intense heat there. But there's no ash, nothing left. And where the stone door was is now an empty doorway. And you can see that there is a passage that leads down.
Open!
Oh shit. Okay.
I string my bow.
Yeah.
And
I am going to look as best as I can from the entrance if
For
there's
traps?
anything that might kill us. Traps.
Okay, would you be kind enough
That
to
is
roll
fair.
detect traps, please?
No, I wouldn't.
Oh
I
dear.
rolled 15.
It's okay. It could have been worse.
okay.
Because
Which would only get a +4, so that would be 19.
okay. As far as you're aware, there are no traps in this doorway.
Okay. Open. Yes, Open will actually pull out his warhammer, so it's handy, but not. Let's see. I don't have anything really useful. Well, no, unless I want to threaten something with my sewing kit or a mortar and pestle, then no. Not so much.
As a forest witch type person, mortar and pestle terrifies people a lot more than a bow and arrow.
That is fair. But we don't know that we're actually dealing with people at this point.
Bring up my slingshot, and I'm going to be a complete and utter idiot of everything.
Oh no.
And be as sneaky as possible.
Oh no.
And try and blend in with the wolves as much as possible and go in.
Okay. If you're trying to be as sneaky as possible, There are skills around being stealthy and sneaky. I'm trying to remember what Rolemaster calls them. I think it's hide?
There's
Yeah.
Hide and sneak?
stealth, I believe. 1 second, let me see if I can find it, because I know I have them.
I've got a bonus 25 to hiding and stalking, and 10 to stealth.
There's subterfuge stealth.
Subterfuge stealth. There we
and
go. That's
there's
the one.
hide.
Thank you. That's the one we're after.
I don't have that. Shocking.
Sorry, there's
I
hiding.
have sense ambush, but not.
Now, the wonderful thing with Rolemaster is you can try almost anything. But if you don't have the skill, you're at minus 25.
Nice.
Fine. I am going to be sneaky and try and be sneaky and see how badly
Go
this
ahead.
goes because I've already failed at searching for a trap. 91.
Wow.
Okay. A valiant effort. Valiant.
Okay.
1 second. I need to double check something myself.
That's enough, Owen. Yeah, just turn it over and get some off the floor. Yeah. Thank you.
If it wasn't for the minus 25, you would probably have been okay. As it is, however, you're definitely stomping and shuffling and making a decent modicum of noise. No more than anyone else, but given the attempt to be quiet, you probably are aware that you're not doing it successfully.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow Dreadlunk and try to be stealthy as well. Hopefully using Dreadlunk's noise as a cover.
Same. Absolute
Okay.
same.
Again, if you've got the subterfuge stealth thing, go
I
for
do.
it.
Okay, so that's 94 plus 34, so 128.
Okay, you managed to mask the sound of your movement with by matching your pace and your footsteps with Drudlunk's, and to all intents and purposes, you are passing silently.
122 for mine.
Exactly the same with you. It's almost like the three of you are marching. Your footfalls are so in line with each other.
That must be really hard for the elves, given that they're like
Yeah, elves taking pigeon toe steps.
Oben is just going to watch all of this happening, roll his eyes, and walk directly toward the door with no attempt at subterfuge because he doesn't have the skill. He's just whatever.
That's fair enough.
You know,
This is why Oben gets used as bait.
Yes. No. The reasoning is that if they wanted to kill us, they could have done this at any time, over the past numerous hours while we've been hanging out here. I mean, it's just not efficient use of time.
Okay.
So are you going to overtake, dang it, Drudlunk and go down the stairs in front?
It's not stairs. It's just a downward slope. It's not even stairs.
Oh, downward slope. Okay.
Yes. I will peer. If I get to the threshold first, I will stop and peer down into the darkness, since I do have dark vision, and
Indeed
see
you
if I
do.
see anything else.
You can see this passage heading down. You can see, I think it's 30 feet is it you've got?
I think so. Let me check. 50.
50, okay. So you can see 50 feet ahead of you, and this passage just goes deeper into the mountain for 50 feet at least.
Okay. And this is out of character, but I really, really want to bowl the gnome down the
I had the
slope.
same thought.
I will not. I will not endanger my comrades. But
If we invent rubber and make tires, we can totally put the gnome in one of those and roll them down the stairs.
true. Or we could perhaps grab one of the rocks that are around here that we've already established are lying around loose, and perhaps let it go down the center.
Let's hold off on that. If this is a religious place, a temple of some sort, we don't want to be mucking up the place.
Well, we also don't want to be setting off traps, but hey, potato, potato.
Just step carefully, or use your butt.
Yeah, my butt will be out behind yours, basically. So any traps that are set off, you can do them. That sounds wonderful. So, okay, has everybody caught up to the...
So, yeah, everyone's stepped over the threshold, heading downwards. As I understand the order, Drudlunk is leading the way, followed by Lyle, Ganesa, and then Oban taking up the rear.
That's fine.
Seems like it.
Right. Does Drudlunk have any kind of dark vision or similar?
Not that I know of.
If you do, it'll be on the front page of your character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
You've got dark vision 50.
Okay.
So same as Oban, you can see 50 feet in the dark.
Yeah, I think all of us do except for one person.
I think Lyle doesn't have it.
Lyle.
That smile.
So, but that's fine because Lyle isn't leading, so doesn't need to be aware of any kind of walls that are coming up. However, for Ganesa, you have night vision rather than dark vision, so you still need some source of light. Yeah, in moonlight, you're fine. But effectively, you've got the light coming in through the doorway. Once you lose that light, you can see as much as Lyle.
That's fine.
Yeah, I do have a lantern. If I know that would destroy our dark vision or counteract our dark vision, but if we need it, I do have a lantern.
Is it a bullseye lantern?
It is a lantern. That is all I wrote down.
No. What kind of lanterns do we have in this world? I mean, we've got seafaring ships, so...
Yeah, bullseye lanterns do exist. I don't believe any of you bought one, though. You just have a regular lantern, so it's kind of a hold it above your head so it doesn't blind you.
Which means, if I hold it, or hold my lantern...
So...
Yes, but but raising my arm, though, would be basically almost... eye height for the organism.
But if you're at the back with a lantern, that won't affect. That won't blind anyone in front of you.
True.
Yeah. The light will be hitting the back of my head
until they turn around, and then yes. So when I'm attacked and everything will be good. Yeah. But I can do that though if the people without dark vision need my assistance.
Being able to see might be nice.
All right.
Excuse me.
Oh wow. Okay. After that laugh, yes, I'm pulling out the lantern and lighting it, and I will carry it unless someone else wishes to.
Unfortunately, I need both of my hands in case there is something that does need to be shot.
Fair enough.
So I know both Lyle and Ganesa said they were stringing their bows. So presumably you've got your bow in your left hand at the minute, ready to
and an arrow.
And
Yep.
I have my slingshot ready.
Excellent.
And
arrow nocked, not drawn.
Yeah.
Okay. And Warhammer is two-handed, correct?
I believe Warhammer's one-handed.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can use two hands, but
yeah. Well, I couldn't remember exactly how. Okay. Well, if it can be wielded with one hand, then I'll have that in my dominant hand. And
yeah, Warhammers are they're about the length of a mace, and they've got.
I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're one-handed.
I mean, if we got a large stick, like a long stick, and a piece of rope, we could always like tie it on you the way that they do with like the donkeys with the carrot hanging in front, and
Oh,
have, like,
okay. I love that, actually. Yes, do I have any?
tie the lantern, tie the stick to you, and then tie
Oh my
the
God.
lantern to the end of the
Okay.
stick, and then
Is our dwarf becoming an anglerfish?
Apparently.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
I
I
can
want to be an
confirm the
anglerfish.
Warhammer is one-handed. Definitely.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I wasn't sure how massive my hammer was.
Wow. You were doing so good. This was such a clean and wholesome stream.
I know it. Well, trust me, I am this far away from quoting from Dr. Horrible, and
I've still yet to see that.
oh, okay. I will have to make sure that everyone gets a chance to see that at some point.
I have seen it.
Excellent. Then you probably know the
For
quote
once.
that I'm thinking about. Yay! Hello, small.
Yes, Chrono.
Small person is not seeing. Oh yes, we definitely should add that to the watch list. But yes, I am fine with being turned into an anglerfish, and that amuses me, and that actually puts Open in a better mood.
Does anyone have rope law to securely tie this and arrange this anglerfish setup?
No,
I have
but
rope
I
mastery.
Rope mastery. That'll do. That's the one.
okay.
would you care to
Excellent.
do us a roll? See how tight this.
Sure.
How securely this is all put together.
Okay. Secure is good.
I'm
Tight.
sure this will go great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will. It's 46.
Oh, I'm gonna roll down this lamp, aren't I? Oh my god. Just oh.
Well, it's
gonna
there.
break-
Let's say it's there for now.
Oh god. Okay. Yeah. I was expecting it to be like, well, it falls off, covers you in burning oil, you trip over the rope from panicking and start rolling down. Ah,
No,
okay.
the 66s aren't that bad. They're amusing. They're unusual. It's the critical
Okay.
failures that happens. You know, when you sort of
Okay.
fall off the side of a mountain and get a critical just from a bad landing. That's when it would go. So
Okay.
it didn't go into the negative explosion. So we go.
Yay.
Yeah, the 66 with the toad just meant that it put you to sleep instead of murdering you instantly.
I still maintain that was the correct thing to do. You know, an animal does not immediately attack you. You know, and that's sitting on your shoulder. What else are you going to do? You just say, hello.
It tried to attack you with its tongue.
But after I had patted its butt. I distinctly remember this. We have the recordings. We can go back and check.
We can.
Oh my goodness.
So now that you've got some light, you can see that. Excuse me, 1 second. My apologies. The walls aren't just roughly hewn; they've actually been very smoothly made. Clearly, over time, there's been even here, a little bit of erosion. Nowhere near as much as you've seen outside. But time has taken its toll on this downward corridor, and the walls, while smooth and unpatterned, are now less smooth. But you can still see that they were hewn and had been smooth, and this was not necessarily a well-designed passage or a well decorated passage. But was nevertheless cared for.
Mm-hmm. Is there any sign of writing or decoration on the walls?
Nope. This is
Okay.
so far completely plain.
Okay. So utilitarian, but well made.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna keep on going.
Right.
Awesome.
You follow this down for what is probably excuse me.
Days and days and days.
Maybe 100 yards.
Mm-hmm.
and up ahead you can see. Initially, it looks like a dead end, but as you get closer and the light hits it more, and when Ganesa steps sideways and isn't casting a shadow over it, you can see that it's not so much a dead end as a... Oh god, my brain's just lost the word completely.
Sacrificial tomb.
Checkpoint is what the brain's going for, but there's another word that means the same thing, I think. There's a narrow...
Station?
There's a couple of walls and a doorway that is open, and it looks for all the world like
it's like
a guard post.
A guard post or a gatehouse
Yeah.
where you've got a little building where someone's
Exactly.
supposed
yes.
to be, and then the door is.
Yeah, a gatehouse is a good
What it
a good description. That's exactly what it looks like.
Okay.
But the doorway is open.
The
And there's
doorway is open, and there doesn't appear to be any sort of being manning this gatehouse.
not even a dead one.
Not even a dead one.
I want to check for traps again.
Okay.
85 plus 4. 89.
Wait.
As far as you can tell, there are no traps.
As far as you can tell.
A gatehouse in a pathway through a mountain like this makes me think of a place for imprisoning or keeping things safe, only allowing certain people through either side.
Mm-hmm.
You have a what, Mullen?
PowerPoint development.
That
That's not-
PowerPoint development is magic related.
That's your
but
magic
I love,
points.
yeah,
Okay.
but I love the wording. It's
Okay, because
Either that or you're very, very good on sorry, not spreadsheets, on presentations.
slideshow presentations. Yeah, but that's exactly where my mind went, and because I completely forgot that was spell points. So I was sitting here going, "What?"
This is a fantasy setting. Why do I have access to Microsoft Office? What's going on?
Exactly.
hey, it's basically a really old style that you have to go through multiple like book sheets to get the right calculations for numbers and keeping track of supplies.
Oh, and project them with a magic lantern.
Yeah,
that
behind
I
it
can-
onto a wall.
Yes. Oh, excellent. Okay, sorry. I apologize.
Well, Corinne, it's funny you say that. We do have a gnome in the party. And you are going effectively down a hill.
I mean, we have talked about rolling the gnome to check for traps multiple times being more effective than their ability to actually find traps.
Well, assuming, of course, that there's no mass, that the trap thing is not based on the mass of someone triggering it.
That's
because they
true.
could be too light.
They barely weigh anything. Like what, 25 pounds? Maybe
Yeah.
50?
I mean, I
Yes.
could just jump down the hallway, just constantly boing, 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 boing.
Pogo your way down the
Yes.
hallway.
A springy one. Oh, that
If and when you found a trap doing that, the results would be spectacular and hilarious.
Does the does the shack portion of the gatehouse actually have any like cabinets or drawers?
So on investigating the checkpoint / gatehouse, once you go beyond the walls through that little doorway that's open, you can see that it goes sideways either way into the rock. So it goes a lot wider than the corridor you've been walking down, and is built more like a barracks. As you explore it, there are rooms with, again, all carved out of stone. Presumably they've taken the stone that they've excavated and made furniture out of the stone.
Okay, so like stone items that have been moved into the room, not the room
Both.
carved around. Oh, some of both. Okay, cool.
Both.
Nice.
So, for instance, what look like are probably beds in this, what looks like a barracks, are literally just carved out of the wall. But there are
Okay.
also tables, stools.
Okay.
Are they sized for a normal sized person like me, or are they sized for not normal sized people like my companions?
Um,
I'm asking the question. I am
I
not
know.
saying that
I
out
know.
loud.
I know. That was if you had said that in character, that would have been an in character response.
In character, she is saying that in her head.
That is fair.
so everything is maybe just a fraction too small for you, but the sizing is definitely bigger than your companions would necessarily make for themselves.
So more of an
Okay.
average human.
It would seem so, yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
so I'm trying to look. Ooh, I have +5 in self control. That explains a lot. Okay.
I do not.
Sorry, I'm just looking to see if there's anything I can tell from my dwarfiness about the tunnel or the ramp that we've been in, or this room, or the furniture. I have man in rigid leather, and man in chain, but I don't have anything
I
for
have man in
stones.
soft leather. And man
Ooh,
in rigid leather.
excellent. Now,
I have a plus 28 in my self control.
well,
I have -12.
And
You
and
realize
that's not and that is not going to bite you on the butt at all, is it, Sam?
Definitely not.
Oh
It's
god,
fine.
that's gonna go so horribly wrong.
see, this is a problem with Oben wanting to get away from his dwarvish roots. That basically all of his skills are soft skills, like herbology and ventriloquism, weather, horticulture, juggling. I can juggle, but I can't tell you.
You've got skills related to weather, so like air currents and stuff.
Yes.
Maybe you could use a roll with that to determine if there is airflow and where the air is coming from.
Mm,
And what direction we should go in.
yeah.
I mean,
Depending
I can
on-
swashbuckle, but I don't know if that's going to be very helpful in the middle of it.
Swashbuckling is about stealing things, isn't it?
And swinging from the chandeliers and
And
Are
And
there
saving
stone
damsels in
chandeliers to
distress
swing
and-
from?
Not
Oh.
here, no. There are indentations that look like they were made to hold candles.
okay. I don't need to do a roll for ventriloquism to try to play a prank on the party. No, I'm not going to do that.
As hilarious as that would be.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely hilarious.
But I'll wait until a better time for that, when we're all much more keyed up. Would science analytic basic have anything to do, be able to tell me anything about like the age of
Potentially,
Of-
yeah.
okay, like how long ago the furniture was made, for instance? Does it look recently, or does it look
Yeah, certainly
Okay.
go for it.
okay? Then
And
that
there's no direction,
55.
decorations or cloth or bed
No.
things. It's just all flat, plain stone.
Okay, 78.
So there's dust on
No.
to a degree on just about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly, Fish. Swashbuckling is about getting loaded and picking a fight.
It'll be really fun.
Apparently, the UK is a nation of modern day swashbucklers.
Coughing. The important thing about coughing is that most of it misses your mouth.
And as with all things, should be done in moderation.
Exactly.
There is a layer of dust, as you might expect, from something that's been undisturbed for any period of time. With there having not been much in terms of footfall and throughput, you can tell that it's not been It's certainly not recent. It's old, but you can't put any kind of date on how old.
Okay, but probably older. I'd guess maybe older than I am. I'm only 61.
That would be a guess, but yes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Basically, probably not made in my lifetime, judging from where. But beyond that, can't really tell.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ismi,
that's fair.
you had a hand up.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have noticed something.
Ooh.
I have a skill that might be useful because this is carved into rock, which is effectively a cave
Yep.
type thing. And I have caving.
Ooh. Yeah, see,
I also
don't.
have caving.
Are
I
you
have
okay,
culture. Oh,
Well,
I've got very
Actually
pink.
have
Oh,
I have pretty decent caving actually.
I have culture own lore, if that counts as caving. As
Culture
a dwarf.
and lore.
Culture own.
Oh.
my own
Because of
lore.
where you're from, with that wonderful
Yeah. The city.
dwarven
thing,
city
yeah.
that's got so many
Yeah.
different cultures
Yeah,
within it,
probably.
and its own section that is hewn into a mountain. Yes, that could possibly give you some answers.
Sweet.
In terms
Okay.
of determining route through a cavern, which ways to go, then yes, caving can assist in that. At the moment, you've only got one route because it's either two routes technically, either ahead or back.
Okay.
But if at point you get
That's-
to a fork, then yes, your caving will come into that.
I'm
gonna-
gonna skip ahead.
Like literally skipping?
Yep. I'm going to literally, still with the slingshot, beside.
Ganisa shakes her head and just mutters under her breath, and you wonder why I treat you all like children.
I now have this wonderful mental image. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I have this wonderful mental image of Drudlunk skipping through this corridor, and I don't know how many of you have seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, the opening sequence where he picks up the statue and runs, and there's darts flying from all sides. I have the image of that happening behind Drudlunk as they're merrily skipping down the corridor.
They don't even notice it.
Beautiful.
The boulder falls down and starts rolling towards them.
Oh, I love that.
They trip. It rolls over them.
I will
They
come to
stand back
you
up and
in
continue
just a little
skipping.
bit, Drudlunk. I'm going to deal with everyone else who's checking out this this guard post / barracks.
Okay. Is it okay to do another roll under cultural?
Absolutely.
Culture? Okay. And 45, and that was let's see, 85, 78, 92.
Okay, definitely made well before your lifetime.
Okay.
It's too long ago for you to put an accurate detail on it, but at least a couple of centuries ago. At least.
So
Okay.
it's older than me.
Yeah, there's there's enough erosion on the rock from an area that hasn't had throughput. There's enough dust on and around that's probably just a little bit of rock dust, a little bit of everything else that's just seeped through from the various different air currents that make their way through. It's very, very old.
Okay. Cool. And I will convey this information, or share this information with my colleagues.
Yeah, philosophers with an interest in history would probably have an absolute time here, trying to work out anything they possibly could, just from this section alone.
Cool. I'm intrigued. Open is just like, okay, cool.
Lyle, what are you
No.
up to?
I'm just gonna take a look around, see if there's anything hidden, like anything more out of the way. I'm basically just gonna search in the areas where Oben and Ganisa aren't looking.
So was that aren't looking?
Just for anything. Huh?
Did you
Yeah,
say where
aren't looking.
Are not.
are not looking? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
awareness searching roll, please, then, Lyle.
Can do. Okay. Could be better. 76.
Okay, nothing jumps out. There's little cubby holes that probably once upon a time might have had maybe a wooden panel in front to make it an actual cupboard, and little indentations carved into the rock. There's an interesting set of shapes quite near the entryway that, because of the way they're sort of curved and cut into the rock, might have been a weapons rack actually set into the rock. But there's no sign of any weapons being there now. There's nothing hidden that you can see, nothing even lying around that you could pick up and use for whatever happened here. Doesn't look like whoever had previously been here left in a hurry, because everything's been cleaned and
I love that, Magpie. It's parsed as the nothing jumps out at you.
that's right up there with I attack the darkness.
Oh, wow.
So let's jump across to Drudlunk,
Jump. Oh, muted. Oh, yeah.
who presumably is shouting at the younglings because
Yes.
he's muted. Welcome back, Drudlunk.
Yay.
So you've gone skipping down the corridor a little bit further.
Yep.
Now you haven't got the light with you, so you're entirely relying on your dark vision. So you can literally see just about 50 feet in front of you.
And I have a lantern if I need it.
Okay.
but I'm quite happily skipping along.
The corridor goes just maybe 20, 30 feet. So as you go through the guardhouse, you can now see this corridor still going down. About 20, 30 feet in front. And it does come to a dead end that looks like it's got a T-junction on it. So you've got a left or right option.
Okay, I'm going to use my caving.
Okay, go for it. And as well as the caving, I would also like an awareness perceptions, please.
Okay, 88 plus 33, so 113.
113. Okay.
Does Dreadlunk have the mental acuity to actually mark the direction that they are going?
I did think about it. And then, what was it?
Thought about it, but apparently didn't do it. So
Well, I haven't gone in a direction yet. And was it awareness?
Perception.
awareness perceptions, please.
I don't have anything for that, so.
Excellent.
Oh no.
55.
Excellent.
I see nothing.
Well, nothing of interest. So, yes, okay. And we need to go to the left.
Okay, I take my lockpick out
Okay.
and I just scrape a little
You
circle.
probably want to use your dagger rather than the
That's
lockpick, because
true.
lockpicks are very fragile.
Take my dagger out and I just scrape a little circle and arrow pointing and then carry on skipping along.
Okay.
I just love their skipping. It's just so adorable.
We are
So,
doomed.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'd be the first to die in this campaign.
I'm exploring. I'm being helpful.
so Drudlunk. Again, probably another 20 feet. From turning that way, you can see, actually, there is something there.
You said
Um,
helpful.
the corridor to the right went way past as far as you could see, but turning left, you can see a door, a stone door.
I turn around, standing still. I found a door.
You shouting that up the corridor?
Yep, found a door. Can I open the door? Which is, of course, going to echo everywhere, and no one's going to know
Absolutely.
where it's come from. And I found a door. Like that.
Oh, that's so.
That would be my
Sorry.
grandson providing the sound effects. So, while you're busy studying the age of the furniture and the age of the walls and trying to work out how old this is and looking for anything that might be missed, you hear this echoing up the corridor from Drudlunk.
Is it just or?
Fuck. We left Dreadlord unattended.
It is sufficient enough for you to hear the found a door.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So,
And to be nice enough to everyone else that can't necessarily see, I will get my lantern out and sit down on the ground with my lantern at this door.
that will be
Okay,
helpful.
sparked up the lantern, so fine.
Okay.
And mysteriously illuminates a gaggle of demons that have been sitting around you the whole time.
Oh, Dreadlunk has dark vision, so they would have seen them. But okay, so I will, assuming that I can tell which direction the echoes were coming from, we'll head off and probably not check too much to see if anyone else is following me, because I like Dreadlunk. The others are on probation.
I'll do the same. I wouldn't be able to go alone just because I am flying blind. So
Same.
Well, I got the lantern attached to my back.
Yeah.
Remember?
yeah, exactly. Which is why
Oben
you
has the
have the
lantern.
lantern and the dark vision. So
Yeah.
So
well,
basically, where you go, the others have to.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, Ganesa could just basically, can do her own thing, and the halfling.
I can't see without
they'll
light
figure it
either.
out. Oh,
the halfling.
I have
The
night vision,
halfling.
not dark vision.
He has a name, you know.
I know. I couldn't remember it at the moment. Hindsight. That was. Although that probably was character appropriate because Oben is a little bit cranky. Lyle. Lyle. Yeah, Lyle. It confuses me because it's spelled differently, and I'm like, no, it should be. Is it? Never mind. Anyway, I go off in the direction where I think the echoes are coming from.
Okay. It doesn't take long to identify where they're coming from because they're definitely coming from deeper into this section, shall we call it. And as you get closer to the T-junction, you can see the glow coming from the left-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, as you turn left, you can see Drudlunk sat there with their lantern on.
Okay. Yay. So,
Door.
well, hello
Good
there.
job.
Found another door. Any niches? Sacrificial places for anything?
This has no niches, no sacrificial places. This looks much more like a regular door, just made of stone.
Okay.
There is a keyhole, which is metal framed.
Ooh.
And looks far more like a regular door. Like I say, just happens to be made of stone.
Okay.
Y'all.
Loyal. Love it. Okay. Does anybody have a lockpick then? Actually,
I do.
Oh. Awesome.
Should we check if it opens before we try and lockpick it?
Probably.
Yeah, and possibly check the lock just because, for traps or anything.
Yes.
I'm just loading up all of these things you can do that I can't.
I will check the door for traps.
Go for it.
100.
Ooh,
Natural
oh.
100 was that?
Yes.
Okay.
Sweet.
So
And 23.
we don't need to add anything on. Unmodified 100 rolls have their own section, just like the unmodified 66.
Ooh.
Can I try?
So,
Okay.
when it comes to looking for traps and things, locks and doorways are a common place that you would perhaps find them if it was something secure that it was guarding or barriering. And sure enough, checking around, you notice that there's a couple of holes just on the right hand side adjacent to the lock. So
Okay.
before you try and pick the lock, you do notice that you could probably disarm said trap within the lock mechanism.
I should do that.
The best part about finding a trap doesn't mean it's disarmed yet. 'Cause
That's
then you
just
have a chance at
identifying it's
failing.
there.
You get a chance at failing to disarm the trap.
Yay.
Now, here is the fun part. Is that I have detect traps, I have setting traps, but I don't have disarm traps.
Oh no.
Now,
Do you have a metal plate or something metallic that you can put over the holes?
That may not help if the trap is
don't.
gaseous.
Well, if it's gaseous, you just got to move away quickly, right?
Says the person with longer legs.
I'm pretty sure you can run faster than me if you got enough adrenaline.
Well, if I trip you, then yes.
Your legs are too short, me, honey.
I have throwing daggers.
I'm just checking if anything else would like cover disarming it.
And
now the fun thing about some of the wonderful natural 100 results is they give you a bit of a bonus.
ooh,
For instance, who says you can't find everything you need? Your insight is so clear you have achieved a personal breakthrough. You immediately develop 2 free ranks in a related and appropriate skill.
oh, nice.
So,
Disarming traps.
thought you might say that.
Wait, this happened because of the 100?
Yep.
Oh, sweet.
You now have a disarming trap skill.
Okay.
Well,
Well, I should have said something about my 100s earlier.
Yeah, absolutely call out a natural 100 because good things happen with them.
mm-hmm.
Alright. I shall try and disarm trap. I have no idea what my role would be because I don't know how to add it on. Oh no, brain is not reading properly. I do have disarming traps. It's further down.
Oh,
That would be because I've just added it to your character sheet.
Oh, okay. That's the way. My brain doesn't. And that. I'm done. I'm done. Look at me. 85 add 38.
nice.
Okay, you deftly, before you even get to the lock, just put your lockpicks inside and disable the trap.
Just stab it. Just
That from
stab
looking at
trap.
the way the panel is, would probably have sent 3 darts into your hand.
Oh, lovely.
Ooh. Makes
Now
a
it is
change
safe
from
to pick the
pot.
lock.
Yes. Now I can pick it. Picking lock.
Oh no, I broke my picks inside the lock.
That can happen on a critical failure.
Oh no!
No.
Oh no!
Oh come on!
66.
Oh god!
Plus 35. Well, it's a
That the
66.
Blue is a cold food.
I've never seen a group roll so many 66s. I really haven't.
We are just that talented.
But
That's
I
only
warned you, my RNG is
3,
broken.
maybe 4.
why?
So, you pick the lock. Stand back, chuffed with your work. You hear a twang. And 3 darts shoot out from the hole that you were sure you'd cleared the trap on.
Oh no.
Embed themselves in the rock the other side.
Okay. Whew. I was thinking it would.
I very specifically said, stand back to admire your work.
Well, I was thinking that they would hit me.
But the door does not open.
That's the tradition. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
So, is it now unlocked or is it still locked?
It's bad for baby.
Difficult to tell.
It's still bad for baby. And the blue.
Didn't you disarm that?
Okay,
I thought I did.
Well, maybe there
Well,
were 2.
At least it's not into
This is the second time that you disarming a trap has been by setting it off.
Hey,
It's still disarmed.
yes. I mean, we're dealing with an unknown culture, so who knows? I mean, I'm sure their traps are a little bit different from what we're used to.
It could be a trap that automatically reloads itself too.
Could be.
It's not good for baby. And so
Well,
You still haven't tested the door to see if it actually is unlocked yet.
Okay, I'll try and open the door then.
Okay, so you reach for the handle, give it a turn. It gives maybe half an inch. And then stops.
Like the handle does or the door does?
The door. It moves half an inch and then stops.
My brain says that we should use the heaviest object we have to force the door open. But the heaviest object we have is a dwarf.
Okay, dwarf leverage. All right. Okay. Well, what type of helmet do I have?
I'm now imagining a red dwarf moment of like running down the doorway.
That's what I'm thinking. Yes.
Using Crichton as a battering ram. Yes, I remember seeing that.
Yes, I do not have a helmet per se, but I do have a warhammer that I can hold hold out like this and brace. So if you wish to use me as a battering ram in that fashion, then hell, if you suggest it, I will say yes.
I'm thinking you just put your hand on the handle, open the latch, and pull while pushing on the side of the door with your foot.
The foot in the door technique. Something else. Yes, exactly. Something about 6 foot long with a flat top. If I had a helmet, I would just definitely do that. Okay, well, I will give the door a heartier shove since I weigh more than I think most people
Okay, heartier
in the
shove.
party.
Give us a athletics brawn roll to try and replicate that heartier shove.
3
Okay.
1.
For crying out loud, my dice are mean. Okay, so that is 28 plus 16, 38, 44 then.
Again, it just shifts maybe half an inch. Clearly needs something a bit heftier.
How about we put all of our weight on it, I guess?
Yeah.
Maybe get your wolf dog in on it.
Oh, and your owl can like
No.
fan.
Flying doesn't have any resistance against anything. She would just get in the
Well,
way and
no.
probably cut up our faces.
I was just thinking she would have it. She would hover and basically, use air.
There are very few birds that can hover, and there's no moving wind in here.
Well,
If we
yes,
can get
that's the wings creating, but
just
fine.
enough, I could use contortion to squeeze through the gap and see what's
Even
inside.
you with contortions wouldn't fit through that gap.
That's what I'm saying. If we can open it just enough, I could squeeze through the gap and then see what's stopping it opening on the outside.
Okay.
So you're all leaning up against it. Let's have the athletics brawn from you all.
Okay.
Okay.
Please be kind to me, dice. No.
10 and 1, 6.
I mean,
It does make 11. Yeah, Mummy's not very helpful at all in this card.
this time I got an 84.
I got a 35.
Chad?
Oh, right. I'm helping.
Mhm.
I mean, I only weigh like,
It is.
what is it? Where's my weight? Oh, yeah. I weigh 147 pounds.
Yep, I weigh more than you do.
As the small child said, I rolled 11.
Which one is it again? Strength?
Athletics brawn. It's one of your skills.
Skill. Athletics, brawn. Right. That's funny. 80.
Okay, well that's two partial successes. So between the pair of you, between the four of you, technically two of you actually doing the work, you managed to get this door open.
Well, I'll make a good show of it.
And this would it's a fairly sort of small room, largely open. In the center of the room is a platform with a post in each corner, and just outside of where that platform sits there is a lever.
Can I look for more traps?
Absolutely, you can look for more traps.
I kind of feel like, given the time, we shouldn't pull the lever until next session.
That is entirely up to you.
31, so I'm not finding any traps.
Okay, no traps. Perfectly safe.
I
So it
pulled
says.
the lever.
Are you standing on the platform when you pull the lever or not?
No.
What are you doing?
Okay. Lyle just goes in, yanks the lever,
Uh,
the platform starts descending.
I know I jump onto the platform quickly.
And
I
that's where
also
we're going to
jump
leave
off
it.
the platform.
Same.
Yeah.
As everyone appears
Awesome.
to be jumping on this descending
If
platform.
it's too far down, we won't be able to jump.
Listen,
I'm not staying up here all alone.
Lyle has absolutely abysmal self-control.
Mhm.
It's gotta come through somehow.
I know, and I've been trying. I've been trying for 15 years to teach you better self-control.
I love it. All right,
You've made
folks.
slight progress.
So
How do we spell Rolemaster?
the camera fades to black as our four companions jump onto this descending platform.
Is it like an 80s freeze frame?
I'm starting to see it in light of one of those, 60s Saturday serials where you get the cliffhanger. Then when we come back next week, it's a subtly different version of the same cliffhanger.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, folks, that wraps our session for today. With that said, don't go too far because at about 7 o'clock, so in just over an hour, Drutt will be picking up the second session of her Aliens Halloween story. Thank you very much for watching. We have been Himp Plays, and if you want to support us, then drop into our Discord. And if you like what we do, if you want to help us keep the lights on, buy extra sets of rules, then !donate will give you a link where you can donate a few pennies, whatever you have spare, whatever you feel like, and that will help us buy sets of rules and keep the sessions going and get more people involved.
Mhm.
Now, some of us here do stream when I'm not racked by a hellacious cough. Excuse me. I do try and stream in my own right.
Great.
But due to new job and health, I'm currently on a bit of a hiatus. Shard, I know, streams and I think is also on a bit of a hiatus.
Yeah. The last thing I did was co-streamed with Chrono on a Friday. Took the day off to do
Oh, cool.
some magic stuff with him. But otherwise, I'm mostly hiatus at the moment.
Molly, are you streaming at the moment or are you also on hiatus?
I am nearing the end of hiatus. am making notes for what I want to stream, which is a step forward, a step in the right direction. So, so yes, I am still, but hopefully back soon.
Cool. Sam, do you stream at all?
Nope.
Okay.
If my laptop can barely have VC and Fantasy Grounds open at the same time.
Fair
I
enough.
think that trying to stream would be catastrophic.
And
I have had requests from the small child to stream some of our family game nights because he likes Fall Guys and Valheim and
cool.
stuff like that, and he wants to do some streaming. So we're looking at reopening up my one soon with Little Man featured in it.
Brilliant.
Playing Valheim and Fall Guys.
Awesome.
Etc.
Getting my grandson into
sounds
streaming.
lovely.
I love it.
Yes.
All right, folks, we will leave it there. Once again, thank you very much for hanging out. I hope you've enjoyed the session. I know I have. We will be back in, now is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks? I can't remember because we're out of
3
sequence
weeks,
now.
I believe.
3 weeks,
Yes,
okay.
next weekend is, or next Saturday is Part-Time Gods, and then I don't have my calendar up for
I believe
next
Gaia Complex
Sunday.
is 2 in a row.
Yes, that makes sense. Yes. And
Like, I
when
have
we
the
will-
world's worst memory. I can never remember these things.
yeah, I have it up on the other side of my laptop, but I'm on the Windows side right now, so
But next
Sorry.
Saturday is Part-Time Gods.
yes.
Okay, folks, there you have it. Part-Time Gods, and Moliere will be running that one. So thank you very much.
I'll
Do
be there
come back
too.
at 7 for some aliens with Drut. See you later. Good night, folks.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care.